Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Miss Eileen, and I can't believe that I survived for 4 months without my Stream Deck. Oh my gosh, ever since I got my M1 24-inch Mac, I thought that I was not going to be able to use my Stream Deck. And it all boiled down to this this little dongle. Let me explain. First of all, if this is your first time here, I'm Eileen Smith. I love, love, love to live stream. And if you're new here, go ahead and let me know. Leave me a comment and let me know. And even if you're not new, say hi. And thank gosh, I belong to one of the best Facebook groups on Facebook for live streamers, and it's run by my friend Doc Rock, and it's the Let's Get Live VIP group. And so we were all talking in class last weekend, and I was saying that, I'm having an issue with not being able to use my Stream Deck because of the fact that, you know, with this M1 Max, and I have the highest level one you can have, you only have certain ports that you can plug things in, and there is no USB A port, which is what you need. And so, speaking of the Let's Get Live Facebook group, I see a few of my friends are here. Eric is here. Hello, Eric. And Superstar Sammy, or Sammy Superstar. Hello, Sammy. And Let's Get Live helped you so much. Yes, they did. Because I'll show you an example. This actually is my old Stream Deck. Okay, it's a 15 key Stream Deck. But the Stream Deck XL also has the same connector to go into your Mac, and it's this USB, the old school one, but they don't have that on the Mac anymore, right? So I, was in fact, I hadn't even thought to ask anyone about it, but because I knew that the folks from Elgato were going to be going to the Leap into Live that was sponsored by Ecamm, I asked Doc Rock to ask them, like, why don't they tell us how we're going to connect to our Macs now, right? The M1 Max. Well, the iMac anyway. It's not a problem on the Mac Mini because they still have the old connector. But anyway, and so that's when they said, oh, everybody chimed in, and mostly Alex Johnson, give him a shout out. And they gave me, of course, I'm not using this one. This one is the Amazon Basics one, which you can get. But I actually said, you know what? Let me just get the one from Apple because I don't want any problems. So I bought two of them because I know this will come in handy for something else later, right? And so with that said, I also realized that it had been a while since I talked about the Stream Deck, of course, and I never really talked about the XL on a video. So, for example, if you don't know the difference between the XL and the small one that I just showed you, ooh, ain't she pretty? There is my Elgato Stream Deck XL, and I definitely I'm running out of keys. And the only reason why all the keys aren't set up on here right now is because I wanted to do this video and set up a few of the keys on here. And so if you're not familiar with Stream Deck, you have no idea what I'm talking about. I will simply compare it to being an extra keyboard. It's an extra keyboard that makes it easier for you to manage, especially when you're live streaming, for you to manage all the different software and things that you need to do with just the click of a button. Now, for those that are like, well, I don't know if I can use a Stream Deck. They might be too expensive. The folks at Elgato, which is actually owned by Corsair now, they also have a mobile app. Me personally, I didn't want the mobile app because the mobile app comes with a monthly fee, a recurring fee. So I thought that doesn't make sense in my head. It might make sense for you, or you may just want to try it out. So you would get the mobile app. But me, I like to have the hardware. It doesn't take up that much room on the desk, although it does take up a spot there. But, I have it right here near my right hand and, next to the mouse. And so let's get started with setting up some of the buttons. And first thing, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to Ecamm Live because Ken and Glenn and all the rest of the folks on the Ecamm team, they're just absolutely amazing. And one of the things they've done is built a plugin so that Ecamm Live would have all these specific functions that are just related to the Stream Deck. So if you're using Ecamm Live, you want to get a Stream Deck. I recommend, don't waste your time with this little one. Uh, I grew out of this little one so quickly when I was using it on the old Mac. And I said to myself, why did I ever waste my time? I went right for the XL and, I haven't looked back, especially now that I know I just needed a little dongle to get it up and running. And hello, hello, blind guy, his wife, their life. It's great to see you too. And one thing that I do want to do before I go any further is I do want to put a little bit of a background on these comments. And let's put that one up again. Oh, I'm using my Stream Deck with 15 buttons, and that's enough for me. Well, good for you, Eric. It just all depends upon your own use case and also if you want to make that investment for a bigger one. So let's see if I can get this tweaked just a little bit more. Bear with me for a minute, guys. And all right. No, that's not legible. All right, that looks better. And so one of the buttons that we have now is the ability to go ahead and put that last comment back up again. And so there you go. I put that comment back up that came in from Eric. All right. So, and Ecamm Live also gives you preferences where you can set how long a comment stays up and you don't have to worry about pressing any buttons, any keys, no space bar or anything like you do on some other software. It will just disappear at your specified amount of time. So I think mine's is set for either 15 or 16 seconds, something like that, which would give me enough time to read most comments. And if the comment is really long and I have to, then I'll just put it back up again. And all right, here we go. We're going to do it again with just clicking a button on the Stream Deck. I'm still using Streamyard for simplicity and ease of use. I'm lazy, but keep hearing accolades about the customization possibilities with Ecamm and Stream Deck. All right. And where you have to do what you feel comfortable with. So if you're in your comfort zone with StreamYard, absolutely. I love StreamYard. In fact, you guys may have seen that I've been uh, recording videos for StreamYard. One just went live on the channel the other day. So I'm a friend and, I'm in the StreamYard family as well as the Ecamm fam. Okay. But StreamYard don't have any thing ready for the Stream Deck. They don't have a built-in integration yet for Stream Deck. I've been loving the Stream Deck and Ecamm. Yes, Sammy. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so let's get into it. And what I'm going to do is something that I rarely do when I'm streaming from Ecamm. So most folks that use Ecamm do this all the time, but baby steps, okay? So this is my first time using scenes. So, oh yeah, what I have to do is put back my controls here so I can get back into scenes. So I'm going to now open up, because in addition to the actual hardware, the Stream Deck, there is Stream Deck software that's a companion to it. And that's what you need in order to set up the functions. All right, so let's try it. So here is my Stream Deck, my interface. So, drum roll for the scenes. Yes, well, I only have one. Well, there's two, the regular one and this one. So, with this Stream Deck, and let me just let you guys know, and I heard this come up the other day, and I thought that it was wrong, but I want to correct folks. If you already have your Ecamm Live and then you get the Stream Deck, usually when there's an update to the Ecamm Live plugin, what will happen is it will prompt you to install the plugin. But when you don't have the plugin installed for whatever reason, there is right up here at the top right, right over where you see my little picture over here on the right hand side, there is this little plus button. You hit that plus button, and that takes you out to the Elgato interface where you can install all of the different plugins, such as the Ecamm one. So, for example, you click on plugins, and you can see here, you can sort by most popular or alphabetically or top rated or recently added. So let's just go by alphabetically. Let's make it a little bit easier for us to find Ecamm. And of course, I already have Ecamm installed. So you'll see here that is already installed. And no, I'm not going to uninstall it just for you guys. But I will just do a little quick, I have a little something pre-recorded. Let me come back on just to show you what that would look like when I installed it on the I went to the old Mac and I just took a little recording. Let's see if I can get that up and running. Oh yeah, I didn't demo it ahead of time. Here we go. It's only 45 seconds. And so I went into the website and I searched for Ecamm. So this is what you're going to have to do if you already have Ecamm installed and you get the Stream Deck afterwards. And then you just tell it to install. And it installs it super quickly. And then you just come back over to the Stream Deck software and you see there, that's how it looks for a fresh install of Ecamm. Okay, so I recorded that little thing on the old Mac this morning. All right. Okay, so now let's get rid of that. All right. So that's what you would do. I already have it installed here, but that's how you would install it. And now we're going to come back to Ecamm in a minute, but I just want to show you if you were installing something else. Thank you, Sammy. If you were to install another one of these plugins, because there's a bunch of them that I was actually using before, and you still have the old iMac. Yes, I still have it. It's just that this is what was happening is what I invested in the Mac Mini as well as the 24-inch iMac, that things like my Stream Deck were making the Mac crash. My Shure MV7 was making the Mac crash. And now that Mac, the old one, 27-inch iMac from 2014, it had crashed on me before, and I already had lost a ton of files and all that, and I had to go to Apple Store. This was before the M1s came out. I guess that was in 2018, or maybe it was early 2019. I'm not sure. And I had to get a new hard drive. Okay. And it didn't cost that much. It was like under $400, but I lost everything because I didn't have my stuff backed up. Okay. And oh, Chaos Rain is here. And since that's not the last comment, I literally have to bring that one in. Hello, Chaos Rain. How are you? And Sammy says, wow. Yes. And so, although once I went back to my old ATR 2100 and I took off the stream deck, it still made me nervous. And I thought, you know what? These new Macs are out now. Anyway, I know the Mac is old as dirt. Oh, I like that. Is that StreamYard? No, this is actually Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live. So the little things that you see me doing right now are exclusive to Ecamm Live. And because StreamYard does not have currently does not have a plug-in at all for the Stream Deck. And hopefully when you're watching this video months and maybe even years from now, they'll make a liar out of me and they will have a plug-in. But right now, they don't have one in September 2021. All right. And believe me, the users have been asking for it. Okay, so let's go back over into the Stream Deck store, so to speak, right? And just look at a couple more things that we could do over there. So in addition to plugins, you also can get icons from over here. I don't know if they're free or not. I'm going to assume some of them are free, but we're not going to go down that road. I just want you to know that it's there, okay? And this one says Stream Deck. This is the Wavelink icons, and I do believe the Wavelink is another piece of another hardware that they sell. And wait, I think I missed a comment. It's all Ecamm magic chaos, right? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, and then there's music in here. There is music in here. Now, whether or not this music is royalty free, I have not investigated. But I'm going to assume that some of it can be used, at least on Twitch, if not YouTube, okay? But you're going to have to do your own homework on that because we're not talking about the music today. But I want you to know that it's there and you can search by genre and you can search by, because you could use this for other things besides streaming, but you could search by instrument, you can search by mood, okay? And there's also sound effects. Now, for the most part, sound effects are always going to be royalty free. Like, that was a ding, and that was a whoosh. I hope you heard that. Record scratch. Okay, so what we want to go into though is the plugins, and I have the all category selected, but if you just wanted to really quickly just get to the Ecamm one, you would click on video. You would think you would click on streaming, but I did that earlier, and when you click on streaming, there's nothing there. I don't know why. It's just the way they categorize things. So if you want to get to that Ecamm one, you can type it in the search, or you can just go to video. Now, here's another one that I know a lot of us would probably be interested in because, we're all, since the COVID-19, we've all been using Zoom. So there is a Zoom plugin. I am not going to install that, but I just want you guys to know that it was there. Okay. I want you to go and play with it. And there's also something for Facebook Workplace. And I do know that folks are using Facebook Workplace. Not I, but folks are. Another really interesting area is it says smart home only has one thing in there, but I think if we go into lighting, let's go into lighting. This is where you'll find your Philips Hue lighting and other lighting controls areas. And you just would simply click on it and install it, okay? So let me just come back on screen. Let me use my scenes. Ooh, I'm fancy. I'm fancy. I'm using scenes today. All right. Okay, there wasn't any more comments. All right. So I'll tell you one that I had up before, And I definitely want to put that one back in now. And let's see, which one is that? It's the CPU usage. CPU usage. So let's go back to that scene. All right. And I'm going to go back to all. And here's the CPU usage one right here. It's under utilities, but here it is right here. And I'm going to install it. And now let's come back over here into the Stream Deck. All right. So even though I installed it, I still didn't assign it to a key yet. So that's my next step, is to assign it to a key. So I should find it here at the list, and I should find it down here at the bottom. And now all I have to do is drag it over. I don't think I want it on that key. I'm going to put it on this key here. And here it's telling me that I'm using between 31 and 36, or no, I'm sorry, between 30 and 32% of my CPU usage, which I have a browser window open, and I have the Stream Deck, and I'm using the Stream Deck, and I have Ecamm Live. So 32%. I don't know how accurate these things are, but I'm fine with 32%, because I was seeing much, much higher numbers than that when I was on the old iMac, which, yes, I still have. Okay, so that's just an example of utility here. So let's go back, because there's another one that I think that a lot of folks will want, and that is the one for Keynote. You can use Keynote. You can also use PowerPoint. I just so happen to not have PowerPoint on this computer. So I just click install. All right, so now, like I said, it's a two-step process. I have it installed here, but now I also have to assign it to a key. Well, in this case, I would want to go to a separate profile, because I'm planning on putting some other assignments here on this home profile. So I would need to go to the next profile. So in order to do that, remember, I have my Ecamm Live profile, because when I install that, that's there, right? So what I would do here is make a new profile. A new profile, okay? Now, when you make a new profile, one of the most important things that you do is make sure you can get back to your other profiles. So one of the crucial keys, you can always get rid of the welcome key. That just takes you to the Elgato's website. All right. You don't really need that. If you want to keep it, go ahead, but I'm not keeping it. So I always want to go up here to the Stream Deck section here. You see this over on the right-hand side? And there's a switch profile key. You always want to have that, so that no matter what page you're on, what profile you're on, you're able to get back to your other profiles with just a click of the button. So in fact, let me go back to the Ecamm one, because I don't have one on there. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, there is. There's one right here. Next profile. So I click that, and I'm on the next profile. So let's be consistent and put that one up there. Now on my home profile, I have my website, but that's okay. I can move my website over. It's not like it's hard for me to get there, and put that next profile button there. So then now it's always consistent for me. When I want to get to the next profile, is to click that button there at the top left. All right, so let's go to the blank one. And now we're going to scroll back down to where Keynote is. And if I had Keynote presentation, I'd want to pause and stop it. I'd want to go to the next slide, previous slide, first slide. Wait a minute, my keyboard got in the way. Last slide. So I don't have a keynote presentation, but trust me, it's going to, this will work with Keynote. And you probably need to open Keynote. So hang on. We're going to move this down and move this down because one of the most important, the other most important key that I want to show you, which is under the system section. You see that system section there? I'm hovering over it. You want to see where it says open. And this is where you would open a program. So now, in order for me to open the program, I have to navigate to the program on my computer and see where it says app/file, choose. So now I would go into my applications and look for Keynote. Okay, now I'm going to come back on screen because you guys saw me set up the key, right? I'm going to change scenes and I'm going to press Keynote. And yes, it's opening Keynote. And it says Stream Deck wants to access to control Keynote app. Allowing control will provide access to documents and data in Keynote and perform actions within that app. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that because I want you guys to see that, but I want to try to share it in a way that doesn't look too crazy. So I'm going to say okay, but I'm going to say done, and hopefully we'll put that. All right, so let me go back in here because I think I taken that screenshot, kind of threw things for a loop there. Let's press the button again. And nope. Hang on. Yeah, I messed up when I messed up when I did that. Oh no, Keynote is open. I'm sorry. It's open. I don't have a document open. So, and I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to screen share anything crazy because if I start screen sharing now, it's going to screen share my whole screen and you're going to be like, ah. All right. I hear you. You're like, yes, no, we want you to screen share your whole screen, Eileen. Do it. So there you go. There's Keynote, but it's looking for a presentation. But like I said, I don't really use Keynote, so we have to get our friend Bradley Vincent over here because he is the Keynote master. All right, so it did open Keynote and it was looking for a presentation to open, but I didn't have one. So that's the way that you would set up your Stream Deck, and I showed you how to set it up for Ecamm Live. I also showed you how to install a few other plugins in addition to Keynote. Let me show you another thing that I know that a lot of you guys would like to do, and that would be to connect it with Twitter. And so let's go back to our screen share from the Stream Deck. Let me take another sip. And so here's Twitter here. And what you can do is compose a tweet. So I actually have already assigned a Twitter button. And what I should have done was to share this ahead of time. So what I can do now is upload my thumbnail. So I should have shared this live stream out before I went live on Twitter. And so now I have it all set up. So this is all I would have to do each time I go live is to just click that button. But if I want to customize it, instead of sending people right here, it says join the live stream on YouTube and it has my YouTube channel link. But what I want to do instead, since I actually have the window open down here, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change it to the actual video link. And so now all I have to do is press the button and the tweet should have gone out on Twitter. So, and you can set multiple ones up because you see it's set up for the Eileen account, but I could add another Twitter account. So I have my Anchor Show Twitter account. I could add that one as well. So now if I go over to Twitter, which I'm going to do in the background, hang on, I won't make you keep looking at that boring screen. You just look at me and hope that I press the right buttons, because I show you what buttons to push. Yeah, but that didn't oh no, that was a pinned tweet. Yeah, so it is. It's over here on my Twitter. So the best way for me to show you that right now is to show you from my phone, because I don't want to mess up my screen shares. Y'all know what I'm trying to do here. But I forgot I did have a pinned tweet, because earlier I went on a Twitter rant and I wanted to pin that tweet. But here is the tweet here where I say, I'm live over on Twitter talking about the Stream Deck, and there's that thumbnail that I made. May change it later, probably not, but so there. So let's do another one, YouTube. Now this one I'm going to show you before I even show you how to set it up. I think I'm going to show you. I don't think that worked. Wait, let me try it one more time. Oh no, it's not connected. It's not connected. It should have been connected there. And let's try it one more time. No, because my YouTube is connected to the Stream Deck. And all right, it's all Divinely Blessed says, hey there, what is Stream Deck? Stream Deck is a piece of software, and I'll show you my old one here. It's not lit up because it's not plugged in, but I have a bigger one with 32 keys on it, and think of it as an extension of your keyboard, where you should be able to do one press of a button and be able to perform actions on your computer. Now today we've been talking about Ecamm Live, and we looked a little at a couple of other things like Twitter, but we also can use it for, I'll show you another use case that I have set up here. I have it set up to open Canva. Now, I'm not sure why the YouTube thing didn't work. We'll have to go back into that later, because I haven't actually tested it since I plugged the Stream Deck up the other day. But Canva is another one, because I have the desktop application of Canva, and I know this one works because I've used it several times since I set up my Stream Deck the other day. And there's Canva is open now. Let me come back on. Let me show you. There's Canva. Just from that one button. And this is a big deal for me, because I have so many apps in my dock, and I have my dock over on my right hand side. Most people have their dock across the bottom of their screen. I don't know. For me, I'm always looking at stuff at the bottom of my screen. So I have it over on the right hand side. But I always forget where I put the Canva button. And there's another button that I'm always like, is it at the top of the list or is it at the bottom? I can never remember. So now I don't have to remember that anymore. I just have it there on my Stream Deck. I love that. Oh, and the Divinely Blessed Kay says, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And I've actually got links in the description for the Stream Deck, for Ecamm Live, and probably for a few other things as well. So please check those links in the description. If you have any questions, as you're watching this, especially in the replay, and you have questions about Stream Deck, you have questions about Ecamm Live, you have questions about Streamyard, or any of the other things that I mentioned today, go ahead and leave your questions. And I also want to remind you, before we go that we do have super thanks on this channel. So, in addition to being able to give me super chats while I'm live, you can go back to any of my videos that have ever helped you in your endeavors online or with your life, and or just entertained you in general. You can hit that super thanks, which is just looks like a little heart logo with a dollar sign in it. So you don't have to wait for me to be live. At any time you could go ahead and give super thanks to your girl. And with that, you're going to see a few other videos come up on screen that YouTube thinks that you'll like watching. And as always, stay beautiful.